Hey, Daniel, I just overheard part of what you said there about the punching clown, and I think I described it as that in the past. And Gary Williams pointed out to me it's more like a plunger, and that's the way you described it.
Yeah.
So that the central part is scooped up.
Yeah.
If you said that already, I apologize.
No, I was just quoting you. I remembered what you had said last year in one of these close-up images, and it just stuck with me, and I think it's a phenomenal way of describing these animals. And, yeah.
Do you feel that much current coming from port, or is that us?
I don't think it's us, but I think that is a deceptive cloud that you're seeing there.
Yeah. Excellent.
I think the thing's so light it always looks like it's getting blown over.
Yeah.
All right, I think we have that pilot. I'm coming line.
All right.
I am full line.
Oh.
All right, pilot, I'm looking down at you.
All right, moving ahead.
And then, so the Okeanos Explorer, this year's field season is going to be doing field work in this general region for the next 6 months. So this is in fact the first of 4 cruises. We're going to be spending time here in and around the Papahanaumokuakea for the next couple weeks. Then
pilot.
Finishing this leg in the middle of March down in Kwajalein as part of the Marshall Islands. Then the Okeanos Explorer is going to be zipping up north to Wake Atoll, doing a mapping-only expedition around Wake Atoll, which is part of the Pacific Remote Islands Marine National Monument. After that, the Explorer is going to be going down to the Mariana Trench and doing some very exciting dives around the area, around the Commonwealth of Guam and the Mariana Islands. After that, returning back through the Pacific Remote Islands, including going through Johnson Atoll, and then returning back to Honolulu in middle of September. So it's going to be a long, and that's a spectacular view of this enormous unbranched bamboo coral. So yeah, over the next 6 months or so, the Okeanos Explorer are going to be visiting places that are separated by enormous geographic distances. And one of the questions we're trying to answer is what are the biogeographical patterns of some of these species? Do we see the same species or different species at places that are separated over these large distances? In shallow waters, if you would look at the coral fauna at these places, they would be very different. But in deep waters, we don't know what the differences might be between these different biogeographical provinces in the Pacific Ocean. And then next year, the Okeanos Explorer is going to be coming back here to the U.S. Pacific Islands, doing work again in the Pacific Remote Islands Marine National Monument, as well as around American Samoa. A couple marine protected areas in that area, the National Marine Sanctuary of American Samoa and the Rose Atoll Marine National Monument. So there's all these protected places in the Pacific. Some very special places, some very unique faunas, and the interesting thing is that we talk about the uniqueness of a lot of these places, but that's all just based on our observations in shallow waters. We don't really know what's in the deep waters in many of these places, and the vast majority of these places are in very deep waters. For Papahanaumokuakea itself, so this area, over 139,000 square miles of area, 98% of that is at depths below 300 feet. Where up until recently we had absolutely no information about. So this is in many cases the first time that we're imaging these deep water ecosystems and learning about what's contained in them, what resources do we have, what are the natural treasures of this area, and so we're finding a lot of new things in these areas, and it's also very exciting that we can share these images with the general public. So a lot of these places are so remote and hard to get to that so there's no tourism, there's no way of seeing these places.
Check out that giant rock to your left.
So yeah, if we can take a look at that sponge to the bottom of the anemone. So there's a Venus flytrap anemone on the top, and then that's going to be new for this dive. And I think I know what it is, but we'll wait for the close-up.
Good. I'm slipping back 1 sec video. Alright, I think I'm stable. Copilot? Main HD, please.
Okay to go in, pilot?
Yeah, I think you're good.
Alright, zooming now.
Try a little rotate.
Nav bridge, move complete.
Thank you, Bridge.
Yeah, that is an unusual sponge.
Alright, pilot, it's time for you to move on.
There's a monitor on the left look for blowing out. Is it better now? Your monitor over there, Copilot, that left monitor? Coming out.
Thanks, video.
So the closest I can get is to the family, so that's going to be likely in the family on Centenary.
Sorry, I'm not going to get through Big Rock.
Okay. You should push out faster than that, too.
Faster?
Yep. Come up and push. Push.
In the background there, there's another one of these
Faster.
a polyopagon
faster?
sponge.
Come up and push forward.
A few more of these metallogorgias. And so we're approaching the shallowest portion of this seamount. We're currently at 1,612 meters.
Keep going.
So the shallowest portion of this seamount should be right up ahead.
Still looking down.
Based on the bathymetry we had, it was right around 1,600 meters. Yeah, and looks like that's about it here. So this looks like it's the very top of this seamount.
Now you're in a better position. You can slow down.
And so there's a first mushroom coral we just passed in Anthomastus.
Look at the mushroom coral.
Actually, the red one that's ahead, that's going to be...
Right ahead, watch it.
Yeah, on the bottom. And the other ones are so conspicuous that I...
Is it bottom left?
Yep, just slightly left, the reddish pinkish object there. And so we just passed at the very top of this feature. We're at yes at 1601, and so this looks like either a bubblegum coral or a pink coral, and that's the first time we've seen either one of those. So try to get an idea on it. I think it's a bamboo coral. It's a bubblegum coral. And maybe a quick laser.
Co-pilot lasers, please.
So yeah, that's going to be a bamboo coral. So that's in the genus Paragorgia.
Attention all hands. The operations meeting will take place in the forward lounge. At this
Alright,
time,
video, if you want to do a zoom.
meeting in the forward lounge at this
I think
time.
I'm
Say again,
stable.
pilot.
And
If you
so
want to zoom in, I think
pretty
I'm
much
stable.
every time you see these guys, you'll see one of these characteristic asteroschemata, these ophiuroids there and there's actually two different types of so there's one is going to be in a family Ophiuroidae, and that's in the very towards the base of the colony, and the one that's wrapped around it, it's an entirely different family.
Hey, Dan, you were saying bamboo. I think you mean bubblegum coral.
Yes, sorry, yeah. So yeah, the very first time we said, thanks, Scott. And so yeah, very interesting that we hadn't seen them at all, but at the very summit, or what seems to be the high point, we saw our very first bubblegum coral and our very first mushroom coral. There was just a anthomastus that we just passed.
Yeah, maybe I'll just do a fast pull. There we go.
Washley, are you
Doing pretty good.
Yep, that's
you good?
great. Thank you.
It's coming out full wide, pilot. Stand by.
There's a couple of red
Full wide.
objects to the right on this substrate there. I don't know if those are anemones.
Washley, do you see what you wanted?
Yeah, so maybe a quick snap zoom on those small reddish objects on the substrate. So there's either center or the bottom. There's several of them, like kind of dead center of the rock, so left of the lasers. Those kind of smallish, yeah, they're right there.
Okay.
You want to hover and I can get a partial for you? Or you want to sit down?
Let me try to sit down
Sure.
quickly.
No problem.
And to our right, there's a nice kind of aggregation of these feather stars. There's going to be in a genus Clyptometra.
Alright, video, I think I'm stable.
All right, let's try this. It's going to get focus on Kamal. Oh, is that it?
And
Washley, does this...
yeah, that's exactly
Nice
what
line
I
up
was
there,
looking
pilot.
at. And is this a young Victor Gorgia? Or what are we looking at? It's the young something, a young octocoral. Some new recruits. Is that Go ahead.
They're too young, I think, to say what they are. But given we just saw Paragorgia, it could be young Paragorgia.
Yeah, I agree. The coloration certainly is similar. But nice to see some young recruits there.
Absolutely. That's a great thing.
Pretty much the only shot I have, so I think we have this.
Yeah.
See, Andrea thinks perhaps they're Anthomantis.
Yeah.
Oh, she's just throwing that out. She's not committing.
Yeah, but that's a nice view there of this feature there with all those crinoids, and to the right, all those black corals
Just left frame bottom.
around, and then that beautiful bubblegum coral.
Down?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a
I think we've seen that
spectacular kind of view.
You see that same? No, just a quick snap.
Yeah, I think I just set down, so...
Yeah, and that's, I think that might be a mushroom coral.
Yeah, video if you want to go ahead.
Roger coming in.
Yep. So I think Andrea might be onto something. So these are mushroom corals.
That's nice.
And
Go all the way.
kind of taking his afternoon nap there. So yeah, we a lot of times get asked these questions about age of some of these organisms. So for these mushroom corals, there's actually a nice study published now 15 years ago by Eric Cordes at Temple University and his colleagues, who was able to culture some of these in laboratory culture a different species of Anthomastis atlantica, and were able to figure out that they get to the largest size in about 30 years, and then they will stop growing, and then of course we'll get a lot older than that. But yeah, for a lot of these animals, longevities are centuries, to some cases millennia.
Just going to push past your skids.
And that's just overall generalization here in the deep sea that these are low energy environments. Everything appears to happen at a much lower rate. Things grow slower. They get a lot older. They reproduce later in life. So these are all characteristics that make these species vulnerable to disturbance. So if you do have a massive disturbance, it takes a long time for these places to recover. And that's why these protected areas, such as the one we're right now, the Papahanaumokuakea Marine National Monument, is so important in protecting these species that are all potentially very long-lived. And it looks like, yeah, we're now on this kind of flat plateau.
Pilots now.
Go ahead now.
So that we settled out for the last
So just looking ahead, we have about an hour left, a little less than an hour left at bottom time.
on a plateau.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Current depth is 1,604 meters, and this is very close to the shallowest portion of the seamount. And yeah, so we're going to be moving towards the northwest now along this kind of plateau, and documenting the communities here at top of.
40 meter, 50 meter,
I think 30 meters would be fine.
30 meter.
We see a Venus flytrap anemone there in the bottom of the screen. Those are going to be in the family Hormathiidae and the genus Philiactis.
10-ish minutes.
Pilot, can we get a partial zoom on this surface of the rock that is at the bottom and in the center? Seems to have some lineations of sand deposits in it, as well as the one on the lower left-hand.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me just sit down and I'll see get a zoom.
Could be an indication of flow. It looks like we're approaching another laminar type of sheet flow that's been fragmented again. Sometimes these linear lineations that occur on the top of the sheet flow form in the center channel when a sheet flow has become channelized. So if we are truly observing some sort of flow lineations to either side, we should be able to find the channel's walls and maybe some volcanic pillars and jumbled sheet flow, a different texture. So another kind of exciting little thing to see on such an old volcano, which has been predominantly made up of rubble for most of the dive that we were on, and not just rubble, but heavily manganese encrusted rubble, obscuring any kind of primary flow structures preserved from the original volcanic eruption. So this
Video, if you want to
this could be kind of interesting.
start a zoom.
Yeah, coming in. Low outside of our light pool here, we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, I wanted to try to avoid some items right in front of me.
Again, this these very bunches of grape-like textures. This is another texture called botuloidal or botryoidal texture that is referring to a bunch of grapes. So giving it that spherical and bubbly rounded surface. That's part of the manganese coating, a secondary texture that has taken place on the surface of the rock and is not a primary structure left over from the volcanic eruptions. Maybe if we could, I'm good on this, if we could maybe zoom out and
Full wide?
yeah, it could have been my eyes tricking me from an overhead view that those were actually lineations. I'm starting from this angle to doubt that interpretation anymore, but we'll see if we can find any others. Thank you, pilot.
No problem, actually. Co-pilot, since we're down and at a flat surface, is it a good time to switch?
Okay, pilots, I'm going to hold off on that move until you guys are done.
So we're just going through a personnel change here with our pilots. So I'll just take a couple minutes here. And there was a bit of a discussion about the Paragorgia. So yeah, we have not collected any Paragorgia. There are a few specimens at the Bishop Museum. That's a conspicuous species here. I know that Paragorgia curaloidus has been documented here from Hawaii.
Video, are we full
As
wide?
well as at least one undescribed
We are full wide
species.
on all cameras, pilot.
Roger that.
Okay, pilot, should I put that move in now?
Sure.
All right, 30 meters, 025 degrees.
Yeah, and see as we get this overhead view, again, I
30 meter move.
think I can trick my eyes into seeing parallel lines of sediment deposition within these flow lineations. I'm not entirely convinced that they're not there yet.
025
Yeah, I'm sort of with you, Watch Lead. They look like they're there.
Good copy, Rich.
Coming up.
Thank you.
All right, moving on.
Really interesting texture. It's going to be hard to find any kind of remnants of any kind of channelized walls or any other jumbled texture that takes place in the more turbulent drag along the edges as well from these channelized flows, just because this volcano is completely deteriorated in its primary flow structures and is not leaving us with too many hints to its history anymore. But that's why we have collected 2 geological samples.
Move initiated.
So
Thank you, Bridge.
what other history is hiding will be revealed from the chemical and radiogenic analysis of the rocks that we've collected. So the
come back into view.
age and chemical composition will help us hopefully tell some more stories about what's going on here.
Let's snap from here if we can on that red object, just for ID.
This here?
Yeah. It looks okay. It looks like a mushroom coral. Let's come wide. I'm getting tugged too much over here.
Full wide.
I need to come back in towards Sirius.
We've reached this kind of flat plateau here at the top of the seamount, about 1,600 meters. And so yeah, this flat plateau stretches over a long part here, the shallowest portion of the seamount. Yeah, we see some interesting thing as we approach this top part of the seamount. We hadn't seen any bubble gum corals, and we did see our first one there at the shallowest portion of the seamount. We hadn't seen any mushrooms corals on the flanks, and we see quite a few of them in this area. So we do start seeing a different fauna here at the very, very top of the seamount, which is interesting in itself.
Maybe not.
But the polyopogon sponges and the unbranched bamboo corals are still most abundant ones.
All right, go ahead, video.
Yeah, great spots. So that's going to be a sea pen, and that's going to be an Umbellula, the genus. So yeah, that's the first one we spotted so far. And
go full zoom if you have it.
Let him leave if you want, and see if I can get back to him. Go.
This rotator.
Yeah, so Tina did mention that she saw something as we were flying by. She appears to have the eagle eyes today.
Is that full zoom?
So yeah, this group is called the sea pens, and this kind of growth form is what gave rise to the common name of the sea pens, kind of looking like a feather pen that with that plume towards the side. People used to write on before modern pens. And so yeah, this group is attached to soft sediments. The rock pen that we saw earlier.
That bright background is helpful.
The punching clown, that's on hard substrates. So yeah, there's both forms that are found in soft sediments and then on hard substrates.
Or you're getting pulled, but just that little bob and weave around that rotate is nice.
Oh, and Andrea provided an interesting remark here that, and thanks for sharing that. She says that species in this genus here can actually bioluminesce. Yeah, I did not know that. Thanks for sharing that, Andrea.
Okay, get it. All right, let's come on.
All right, coming wide. Pull wide.
All right. You can lose the skids if you want.
So yeah, if you join us later in the dive, so we landed around 1,750 meters, and that was off to the flank of, so on a ridge, and so we've climbed to the very top of the seamount, and the seamount kind of has a flat plateau at the top, and we're now heading due north along this plateau for the remainder of the dive. We should have about 45 minutes remaining of bottom time. This has been a quite interesting dive in that this was a seamount that up until 2 years ago was completely unknown. 2 years ago, the Falkor, this research vessel by the Schmidt-Osten Institute, came to Hawaii and mapped a large portion of the monument, and Jonathan and myself were actually part of that expedition where we mapped a lot of these seamounts for the very first time. And it's now very satisfying that 2 years later we actually get to take the very first images of the seamount and take a look at some of the life that's on this, as well as some of the geology that's on here. Is that a sea cucumber?
It is.
Let's take a quick look. And
what was that, Nav?
I was just saying that the current move is complete.
Roger that. Go ahead, video. So how do I compose this one?
I would put him on the right third because he kind of has an S-curve going on. So see how his bottom is curving in from the right and the head's curving off to the left?
Thank you,
Like
Rich.
that, and then maybe I could come in a little tighter. So you want that motion of his to be leading towards frame left. But I'm not trying to put him that far over on the frame right.
I was trying to counter in it.
Oh,
Momentum.
not like you're trying to move a 10,000 pound piece of gear down there or anything.
Momentum.
Actually, it's
went away from me.
what's your weight in water? Buoyant, positive by like 100 or something.
I think it's 50, 75.
Yeah.
Certainly, if we stand on it, it's going down.
This might be interesting. I feel like we kind of got him.
Yeah.
To see if we can
Make him fly.
No. I was going to say come out, point the camera down more, and get more of an overhead shot to accentuate that S curve.
We can certainly try.
Yeah, pilot, you're
No
about
guarantees,
65
but
in my cam right now. But the ship isn't moving. But
Okay.
I am swinging a little.
see what I mean? That classic country road into the sunset shot.
See what I can
Or-
do with this. What?
Oh, yeah,
Cresta
this,
Gorgia.
is this
That.
go ahead in?
1 second.
Yeah.
All right.
You
Yeah,
try
go ahead.
to Tell on the left there.
Yeah.
yeah, so this is going to be
Yeah,
in
that's
the
the best I
family
can do.
Elpididae, and so there's two
Better.
genera that this might be in. So this is either
I
in
don't
the
have any
genus
more down.
Peniagone or
Right.
Amperina.
Coral right at my right toe.
Yep.
Okay. Let me know when you have it.
Good. And 3.
And then, yeah, maybe that coral and just a snap soon. That's top out of screen now, and it's going to come out.
Oh.
Oh, that's a black coordinate. Nah, never mind. I thought it was something entirely different. But the yellow, is that just a quick snap soon on that yellow?
Yep.
Back there
I
on
think it's just several crinoids on something.
Let's go partial.
partial eye.
We'll get all these.
And a flyby.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no. So, yes, that
All right. Let's come wide.
the purple crab on
You got
that.
it, Watch Lee.
And that is something we imaged last year for the first time, that it likely is a new genus.
And interestingly enough, I was the one flying that last time.
And And it's actually sitting on a new species of black coral too. And we had several very
Ship
excited
stops,
people.
right?
Ship is stopped.
Good.
I think I'm just about done swinging too.
All right, let's see what's below me. All right, nothing there. Yeah, I can sneak in. Okay, going in.
Pilot, your aft is out. I will
Yep.
disable. Okay, it's back.
Okay. Thank you.
So yeah, Mary Wixton at last year when we imaged this was watching, and so that it's definitely a squat lobster, and she had tentatively suggested that's a new genus. It could be either a very unusual form for the genus Gastroptychus or a new genus. So,
All right, go ahead, video.
and it's definitely on a new species of black coral, and that's a Bathypathes. And
Moving the heading right ever so slightly.
so I'm gonna ask here and to see if there is a consensus, but yeah, it's unusual enough to try to collect this. It would be spectacular if we could get both of these animals in one, but I don't know if that squat lobster is gonna hang on. But I remember Mary Wixton being so excited about this find.
So I'm
Any of my short
quite
base
stable
scientists
video if you want
wanna
You can go full zoom. Use that
want to
for-
weigh in on this, or whether we should try to collect this black coral and the squat lobster in a shot?
It's like the detail on the main part of the lobster there.
Hi, Daniel. This does look a lot like the one
corals
that we saw earlier
focus as
today,
well.
and
We
that
just hold this
Mary
for
was kind of interested in last year. It's too
a
bad
little bit.
she isn't tuned in, because obviously she'd be the best one to say.
Yeah.
I think would
Coming back-
have
coming
to try
back
to
left.
collect that black coral near the base and just hope that it doesn't swim off, but there's a good chance it might. Just depends how smoothly the operation is done.
Yeah.
And that is not, I don't mean that about the ROV pilots, I just mean the crab will swim if it's jolted.
Yeah. So yeah, I think if we're
But I think it's worth trying
yeah.
if you're in a good position.
So how do you feel about that, Bobby? Is it,
We'll give it a shot.
Tell me what's in our firebox.
Hold on.
so
Have we seen that urchin back there on the left
Stand
before?
by, Capra.
Not that we've seen that this dive. Can we try and image that before we grab this guy?
I'd really like to.
You want to get this?
Yeah, I'm
All right.
stable. My feet
Yeah.
are down. I don't want to
You
try
got it.
turning.
Go
I am
pilot the
full one.
port
Let me bring your
outboard.
black levels up back up.
That's
There you
the
go.
only bio box that's full right now.
Port outboard.
Pour up. All right. The easiest one to go to is filled. All right. Well, if he
actually,
stays, he's going to stay. Whether.
well, actually, so that they could potentially go in the same sampling file, so they're so different that there's no. If that's
Actually,
easier for you.
We're full wide.
Aye, full wide.
Okay. I'm actually going to come off from where I am and see if I can reposition somewhere, maybe on to the right, and we can. That might allow us to bring the boxes out rather than putting my toes in. Right. So if I come around to the right, I might be able to set up so we can get the boxes out and have a better chance of, snipping and getting it right in.
So would you like to use the starter box?
Watchley has said that we are able to put the samples in the same box if we need to.
Port inboard?
And I think if this guy is going to scurry, our best chance is getting him in the port box kind of right away.
Copy that.
All right, video, let's go in one more time, get some nice footage
Roger, coming in.
from this perspective while my co-pilot is setting up.
Going all the way in.
Let me see if I can.
Just
Come
another
left.
peaceful, quiet day here on the bottom of the sea.
I'm about to change that.
looking to see here. Beauty this up a little bit. All right, let me come out.
Yep. All right.
Overview.
And let's
That's
bring
full
in
wide.
Mini Zeus up on your screen, please.
So yeah, we're just at a depth of 1,604.
Take control of both cams.
And we're going to try to collect this squat lobster and the black coral that it's perching on.
Okay. Hydraulics coming on.
Hydraulics on. Ramp up.
Okay. Here we go. Coming out. Looks like my footing is holding. Let's come up on HD1 on Zeus.
How's that?
I may have gotten too close, actually. Yeah, I think I'm too close. Gonna pause there. And I'm gonna drive back a little.
That'll get the drawers a little more room to pop up into.
Hold there. Okay. All right. I think I'm stable. Let's try this again. Let's come up on Mini Zeus, please. Yeah, okay. Let's go partial on Zeus, please. How do I look on Mini Zeus?
Pretty centered on Mini-Zeus. Maybe slightly forward. Just hold the blades in there.
Oh. There's some gentle.
Let me know when you want the drawer open.
Still partial.
Let's come wide, Zeus, please. Let's start getting the drawer ready.
Drawer's ready. Ready to open on your band.
Okay, holding there. Yeah, let's bring drawer out. Let's come up on Zeus.
Do you want to come down to Mini-Zeus?
Yes, please.
So there's a big delay. There we go.
I don't see anything in the port outboard.
The separator divider might be blocking it. I'm not sure what we're in.
Okay, I'm gonna release. And I want you to be ready to close the drawer.
I'm ready.
Okay. Here it goes. I don't think I can get them any farther down. Okay. Releasing. Hold. Steady. Close it. Quick, 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 close. Fast. Full speed. Ah. Okay, hold on.
Look at it.
Okay, let's watch them. Is he gonna land? Watch lead. Would you like us to go after him?
I mean, I think it depends on if we think we can get him without it too much abuse, then that would be great. But
We can certainly try.
yeah, I mean, the black coral sample was already, that was, yeah, I mean, let's give it a shot if
Okay.
we're set up to do so.
Okay, I'm gonna stow the arm.
That was,
I can't see where the crab went, but I
Can you
would
bring
imagine if
Mini
it's
Zeus
not
around?
hanging on to a coral, it's going to be awfully hard to pick up.
yeah. So, yeah, I agree with you, Scott. So unless he's easy,
Yep.
and
Okay, hydraulics off.
pilot, what's our game plan going to be?
What was that?
What's our game plan going to be?
I'm just going to try to kind of cage him in the jaws.
Would you,
So, hydraulics are up?
yeah, would you like to still go for the point?
Doesn't look like we'll be able to get the drawers out. Hopefully I'll be able to claw him and he just, well, we'll see. Okay, hydraulics coming on. Grip force. Okay, coming out. Up on Zeus, please.
Yep.
Grip force 1. Let's go ahead and partial on Zeus, please. Center him up. Let's go partial on Mini Zeus. And center him up, please.
You want a little more on Zeus?
No, hold there.
Roger.
There we go. Yeah, he's going to be.
Yeah, yeah. I think we should just bag this. It's going to be
Still
difficult,
partial
but appreciate you trying it. He's going to be
Yeah.
running, but yeah,
Yeah,
that.
let's come wide on everything.
But I appreciate that. That
I
was.
was hoping he might
Yeah.
try to
Let's
put up
go
a
wide.
fight, and I might be able to just cage him in the jaws.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, at least the other one is very valuable, and yeah, now I know.
Okay.
At least we know, and at least, and the images will be important too.
I'm all right. Actually, yeah, come around just to here. Okay, hydraulics off.
So we do have about like 20 minutes remaining in the dive or so. There is a request once we are all stowed away to look at that yellow coral in the background. It's a taller colony behind the cucumber.
Roger that. Nothing? No? You're not going to swim? All right.
So yeah, one interesting thing about this top feature is that we were starting to see other animals that we did not
I
see.
can't believe he swam away
uh,
from the box.
Yeah, right after he touched the bottom of it.
As soon as he felt the edge, he just... Yeah, no, you close the drawers. I should have tried to tuck him farther down in there.
think he's just going to be your one that got away.
Yeah.
Maybe one day we'll meet again.
Nice manip work, though.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Can we bring Sirius back up whenever you're
Yeah,
done
so
with Jesus? All right, go ahead.
Coming in. Looks like 2 associates.
Yeah, and I just kicked up a bunch of dust trying to get the crab to swim one more time so that we could just catch him.
Kind of looks like a cypress tree, whatever they call it. Nope. I think we're drifting. Maybe not. We're off bottom, huh?
No, we're rocking a little. Here, I'll plant myself even more. There.
60% down will do it.
Yep. All right, whatever you want.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a plexaurid coral, and that's the first time we've imaged one of these on this dive.
Oh, sorry, runaway camera. Going back down.
So that a swimming crinoid top? What is that? What's on the back side of that?
Looks like a crinoid to me.
Yeah, there's a crinoid on the top.
Oh, I see the center of it now. I can't find the center.
And Les is saying very unparamecia-like.
Okay, good look at these.
We'll note him as plexaurid.
No real surprises there. Coming out slow-ish. Nope. Get a zoom creep going on. Let me try and stop it.